Okay, let's start discussing the questions of state transition diagram. In previous video, as I told you, that the single one circle basically indicate starting state, and it is a starting state if it's having a black dot arrow. Secondly, double circle indicate last state, or you can say ending state. The third one case is if a circle is having a curved arrow, that will basically show a loop. All right. So come to the question. You have just this one finite state transition diagram, or you can say state transition diagram. You can see here basically two states, S1, S2. S1 is the starting state, and S1 is also ending state too. Here you can say, here you can see S1 is going to be changed in S2 if it will be having an input B. But if you are pressing A many times, it will not change its state, it will stay in S1 as well. But as you enter input B, S1 will be changed into S2. And at S2 state, you can see if you are pressing B again and again, it will not change its position. It will stay at state S2. So you can give B at multiple times if you are at state S2. Okay. If you give A as an input when you are at S2 state, so it will change its state from S2 to S1. Alright. So this one is the first scenario. Second thing is this, you can also give an input as well as output. Alright. Here is another state transition diagram. You can see there are basically two states, S1 and S2. S1 is a starting state as well as it is also an ending state. If you are at S1 state and if you're giving it an input A, it will produce E output. All right. Just to remember this point, the value after the stroke line indicate output. The value, the variable, or you can say the letter, or you can say the word, which is after that one stroke line, that will be output. And the value before the stroke line, it will be an input. So here you can see A is an input and E is output. All right. So when you are going from S1 to S2, so B has an output C during this transition. If you're pressing B, so B will give you the result C. The same thing is this when you are at state S2. So at S2 state, input B will give you output F. All right, and it can be at many times. All right, so basically here it is a loop. And when you are S2, at S2, input A will give output D. All right, and we will go back to the S1 state. Is it clear now? So let's talk about the question, which is a part of this discussion as well and today's lesson as well. Okay. Okay, this one is the question, and here you can see there are basically three states. All right, there are basically three states: S1, S2, S3. Starting state is S1. All right, starting state is S1. Why? Because it is also having a black dot arrow. As I told you, if the state is having a black dot arrow, it will be a first starting state. The last state is S3 because it is double circle. As I told you, double circle state will be the ending state. Alright, S1 is basically having an input low level detected, but the output is activate pump. So when it is going from S1 to S2, it means you need to give the low level detected input and it will produce the output activate pump. And when you will be at position at state S2, it will again and again you can give an input which is low level detected. If there is only a one word or one letter, it will be considered as an input. All right, it will be not output. Now, because it is written, or you can say before the stroke line. All right. So when you are at S2, you will be at S3 when you will give an input normal level detected, and when you're pressing, you can say when you're giving an input normal level detected, it will produce an output deactivate pump. All right. So hope so you will clearly understand that what is an input and what is an output. All right. So in this question, we need to understand the number of transitions that result in different states. So there are basically three number of transitions, all right, S1, S2, S2 to S3, and S1 to S3 as well. So we can say that basically there are three transitions. So the number of transitions with associated outputs, all right, the thing, this one is a question which basically you need to understand. As I told you, the letter or the variable after the stroke line will indicate outputs. So activate pump is an output and deactivate pump is an output. So basically there are two outputs. So you can say there are basically two outputs. The third one is the label that should replace X. The examiner is asking, how will you replace X? What is an X? So X is a start, so we can replace that start. All right. And the last question is, which is asking about the final or halting state. As I told you, double circle will be the last state. So you will write down the name of this state, which is S3. Now the next question is part 2. The question is, give the number of outputs and the current state. So the number of outputs low level detected. How many times low level detected was number of outputs? One time. All right. So number of outputs when you were giving low level detected, it was giving just a one time an output. All right. So low level detected and current state, where it was giving, yes, low level detected and it was giving S2 state. All right. So this is the basically way how will you solve your questions and how will you cover up this one topic as a state transition diagram. Hope so you get that. If there you have a further query, you can mention your, you can write down your comment and I'll definitely respond. It will help out you to solve this question as well.